gonna work. Okay, so You know, it would help if I turned up the microphone, wouldn't it, guys? Hi, it's your favorite dork. My name is Joshua Bleasy. Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm the Unknown Prophet. I do daily tarot readings between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you saw my mouth moving without words coming out of my mouth, it's because I forgot to turn my microphone on. Welcome on in, everybody. Hello, Mercy. Hello, everybody. Hopefully we're good to go. I honestly don't know. I don't have anyone here to tell me what the heck is going on. We'll find out here. As you notice here, I'm already starting to load the brass monkey because it's been a morning. It's nothing bad. It's just, cosmic. The cosmic law of averages is you get a new system, but we're gonna give you trouble trying to fix it, trying to set it all up and get it all ready to rock and roll. I was trying to get a second monitor set up. That wasn't working. I thought, oh, I bought the wrong cord. Buy the right different cord. Before I return said other cord I don't think I need. Let's test it. Now let's try to go through the rat nest of mazes of things back behind that computer to go to this computer so I can see you. And all I'm thinking to myself is, you moron, just buy a fucking regular TV. Not one of these special ones that are supposed to be really easy to set up. No, buy a regular TV that has casting availability and Bluetooth. For the love of God, do this. Hi, honey. We just got started. I'm honestly not sure I'm on live right now because things have been like, okay, well, let's see here. Okay, hi, my name is... Okay, Merciless Mercy was first in chat, so I love you too. Okay, there we go, that works. So now I don't have to worry about it. Give me 5 seconds and I will get you what you have come seeking. Because I just got everything kind of sort of set up a little. And then everything decides to kind of sort of fall out of the tubes. Because that's the law of averages. Yeah. Welcome in, Mercy. Welcome in.
Hi, Mercy.
Wifey says hi. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. What's going on? Why are you mad? What'd I do? Or is that a different emote I'm not seeing on the screen right? Alright, Mercy. Like I said, it's been a morning, so I have full tilt kitty going here as soon as I got this all going. Let me have a smoke with you. Bunting shuffle, first and foremost. Yep, that's about how it's supposed to work. Thank you, wifey, for laughing. Okay.
That was not a laugh, it was a snicker.
Okay, snicker, laugh, chortle, ha ha, tee hee, ho ho, hee ha. You love it when your significant other sits there and laughs at your misery. It's part of the deal. So, Mercy, what are your numbers, and do you have questions? Do you have queries? Is this a general? What are we doing today? Don't ignore the beastie in the corner there. It's just my wife. It wasn't anything important, trust me. If she suddenly goes zombie on you, well, you'll see it before I do.
And hopefully they'll type in the chat.
Run!
Look out!
Run, Forrest, run! Honestly, if my wife decides to suddenly go zombie, I'm going to go, feast, my love, feast. Go ahead. Well, that's what it's at. Something's going on different today, so.
You know, mentally I feel better today.
Well,
Mentally and spiritually, so whatever's coming down the pike, I think it's almost here.
Yep. Well, whatever your question is, I'm here to answer that for you, sweetheart. So you're typing. I'm gonna just sit here, wait, and get the old microphone in your face. Hi, everybody. Some smooth talking from our favorite tarot reader. Okay. Okay, we'll see what the cards say to you. But I've done that several times, Mercy. It's not that hard to get those. I have had a limited LLC for almost 5 years. It's about $100 a year where I'm at. It's an investment in Minnesota. So it is an investment. But then what that does for you, it protects you. It protects you against you being sued and being, taken to court for something that's not necessarily someone comes into your stream and does something in your stream that you had nothing to do with and it hurts somebody else. You can't be held liable for that because you were a provider of entertainment, blah, 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 blah. That's how some of these people get away with some of these crazy laws and rules and stuff like that. But let's figure out what they have to tell you there, hon. Yeah. Exactly. You need that in order to do the other thing. And it's an investment, but here we go with your official 10 shuffles for today. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're already coming for your ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards today there, Mercy.
Oh, mercy.
Yep. And then the 6th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6th card is on top. Here we go. Woofty.
Almost looked like you forgot what you were doing.
Nope, just getting ready. Okay. And as always, butt kick mode is in full gear for you. It's always in full gear for you. But here's what you need to know about this whole path that you are going forward as far as going for the LLC and starting to invest in self. And as you can see, you have the being card. So you have to decide if this is your dream and you want to fight for it. That means fighting with it with your whole heart. That means allowing yourself whatever it takes to become that thing you want to become the most. So getting that in your mind and making sure that you have all of your ducks in a row, like making sure you have the appropriate licenses. Now you could do something that's free. You could do a sole proprietor that's free, that you only need your social security number for, that doesn't require any amount of money. Because a sole proprietor in most states is this: you're just responsible for making sure that when you charge people for taxes in your state, that you charge for local, state, and federal taxes. You are in control of sending the government their money at the end of the year if you don't do that. So that's the only other thing there. Yeah, I already got. That was like a far gone conclusion. We're kicking your ass today. But the reason that you're going through and the reason you're getting the cards that you are is because, yes, you do need to do this because this is protection for you. This isn't just an investment. This is also an extra protection when you go to apply for those loans somewhere in the future as well. You have LLC protecting you as well, on top of normal all the other protections that America we have to protect ourselves against, And then you have to think about the other things that go along with that, okay? Now, difference between sole proprietor, Mercy, and LLC is LLC may be required to have health insurance. Sole proprietor, you can have your own personal health insurance. Depending on if you will eventually have employees. You need to make a plan. Like you were going to have to do anyway, was make a plan anyway. But now, we have to start to say, okay, if this is going to cost me an investment, can I break this down into maybe I wait to sell a couple pieces before I give myself that money. I have a buffer. So when I'm spending this money, yes, it's an investment, but it's a whole year of investment there, okay? That's 300 and whatever dollars for a year of a protection there. That's not like on a month to month basis here. That's a once a year deal. So remind yourself that it's an easier path to take, smaller, easy, digestible steps than to try to go over all at once sometimes. But this moment is that first step. It's the first step you need to take in order to make your business and or graphic artist, whatever you want to do, a legitimate business. Even in the respects of whatever way you go about becoming a business owner. The thing that you have to do now is get in your own darn vehicle like you've been trying to do anyway, but now you understand. You understand what you want, where you're going. We have the map. We've got the GPS going. We know what everything is going. We're on that road. Good. Great. I'm following the map. I'm following all the twists and turns that come along with the map. Great. I got to the end of the road, and now I get to go out to the party where all my friends are at. That's why you've got the seeds card planting in that while you're going through everything else right now. Because you're learning how to plant your physical seed, your mental seed, your spiritual seed when it comes involved in all aspects of your life. That's why things are going the way they are going right now for you, Mercy. So when it comes to that question, yes, I think that is a good investment. Very much so. Not only on a psychic level, but on a thing. This next couple of weeks, if you have a dream that you've always wanted to achieve, this is the weeks up till March, second week of March, that you should start thinking about that positive affirmation. So I say this to all of my stars out there. This is the week. You have to start your positive affirmations. The more you start to think about it, the universe is going to start to listen. And when this event happens, poof, we're all going to get a big surprise, whatever that is. You know, poof, big surprise. Maybe we all just go poof all at once and we're in the mythical heaven of the universe and we don't have to worry about any of this anymore. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, what if they just snap their fingers and say, "Oh, okay, now no more things," and that, crazy stuff like that. But let's find out what the real deal is here, huh, Mercy? Because that was the happy one, right? Well, so we gotta go is now. What do I have to do to make this a reality? This is what we need to do to make it a reality, right? We have to get over the guilt of success, Mercy. How many times do I have to tell you, you can't feel guilty for doing good? You can't feel guilty that you're leaving things behind in order to create your dreams. It may seem like you're hurting things sometimes, but you're not. You're doing the best job you can and not giving into the guilt of not feel guilty about not doing it. You're actually doing it. Now you're only worried about what happens if I get that success and it's getting taken away from me. Well, put out those old fires that you have left going out there that may come back to haunt you. Let's make sure that there is no other way that this can ever come back to bite us in the ass again. Let's make sure this is 100% done and over. That way we don't carry the guilt of the past into our future and we don't feel guilty about the success that once we have achieved it, we won't feel like we deserve it and we'll self-sabotage ourselves into oblivion. You are building that forge up for a reason. It's time to get that power forge, that powerful belief in self, that solar plexus all nice and running on full tilt kitty over the head on the rainbow, smoke a bunch of green, whatever it takes to get yourself in that mode of I am ready to conquer this world. Whatever it takes is exactly what the thought that will go through your head, because that is the forge. You pull yourself out of the fire because you're ready to work on whatever it is you want. But you have to glaze like the brilliant, beautiful sun down on the valley and the place you want to grow in the first place. If you're not finding the positive reasons to do this in the first place, Maybe this is the second thought you need to give yourself before you jump into something you're not ready for. So remind yourself, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're not going to do it or not ready for it yet, wait. It's okay to wait. It's okay to wait. But I love this card because this is exactly what you need to know, right? You want butt kick time, Mercy? You are finally getting to a place where what you will understand as home. I know it doesn't seem like it, that you never thought you'd get to a place where you could actually feel complete and doing the job you wanted, raising the kids the way you wanted to raise your kids, being with the person you want to be with, or at least allowing yourself the ability to be with a person who's better than anyone you've ever been with in the future sometime, maybe. Who knows, right? We could have a really good thing coming our way. We don't know yet, but we have to prepare ourselves because we are choosing the lane we want right now. We've got the kids thing taken care of. We've got the, I believe, starting to feel better about self and all that stuff. And investing in self is what it's all about. Being at home with self and finally saying, I've got it. I can do this. I am ready to venture out of my safe zone, but I know I have that safe zone to go back to. That's the important part of this card, is that it's not a cage. It's not something that you cage yourself in and get locked away. It's someplace you go and come from because you have a busy, normal, everyday, free will, game, adventure time, life. So that's what's going on, Merce. So you need to stop the self-doubting, self-sabotaging, excuse train, whatever else is going on there, because that's all that's really going on right now. It's our own little voices trying to tell us we're not ready. It's like, am I really ready? Is that what's going on? So, cleansing shuffle is in full effect. So that's what's going on, hun. And that's what I'm feeling for you right now. And more of the sense of it is just this. You're ready to take a deeper committing step. It wasn't the kind of commitment we thought it was going to be, but it's still a very committal step. We understand we are entering a new relationship with what that we want to create. It's not the kind of relationship we thought we would be in, but it is a relationship. Just like in what you want in your life, as far as romantic or whatever else may be in, you're entering a relationship with you, the universe, and everybody else at large. And that agreement can be broken by you being stupid, dumb, whatever I'm saying. But that's what I got to tell you for today there, my friend. I'm not even asking. Be a new girl, it's your turn. You know how it works. One small hit for Mercy, one giant hit for 420 people everywhere out there in the world. This one goes out to people just a couple of minutes early, because if I don't do it now, I'll miss it. This one goes out to all the pot smokers in the world.
Whoop, whoop.
How will it all go, huh? That would be the brass monkey, folks. This is the all exciting thing I got at a hardware store. My wife and I stole it. So I have to go get her a new one sometime. Or she'll have to just take it back eventually and
What?
say,
No,
it's
didn't.
mine. What? I said this was your monkey I stole. What? No, I didn't. What? Okay, whatever. Wife is being weird again. Okay, let's get to your see what's going on here with with your answer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have a 3 God card message for you today. And the first card, huh? So here we go. This isn't a surprise, but we're going to get you that answer that you were looking for. This is the answer you're looking for, yes. So, but my friend, my lady, when it comes to this decision, that's kind of how it's going to all go for you, right? The emotional rain that will come out will be one of, I believe, happier tears than sadder tears at this point. I kind of think that, like I said, you have to still kind of give in to the it's going to happen rather than the will it not happen kind of feelings, because it feels like you're energetically, at least emotionally, so worried that you won't get this that you're putting that out there to the universe rather than the I'm going to get this kind of energy. It feels like you're pouring down on it more than you are gently raining down on the whole thingy. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, hey, welcome in, DG. Welcome on in, everybody. Hi, hey, TC. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you guys. And no, Kitty, you can't come in. My cat's going tappity, 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 tappity on the doorknob right now, going, let me in, let me in. But you see, the thing is, that's yeah. But my wife just popped in and she said it's identical to one that she built. Yada yada hooty hoo. She corrected me in the history of all of that is. So then why are you getting the donate card? Because you're going to be donating back to self the thing that you wanted the most. Remember, the donate is fulfilling that wanting feeling. It's not the feed card. The feed card is all about what you need. The donate card is about what we want. Finally getting that back which we want in return. So if we've done a good job of giving what our whole selves and getting back in return that which we have donated to the world, and then becoming that thing which we have wanted ourselves to become. Now, if we're taking this as the strictest meaning of the word yes, then that would be a yes in my expression, because look at that there. You've got the being card saying you will become that which thing you have thought about in the past. So what you believe you will become, the more you believe it, the more you will become it. The more you let your emotions overcome your better judgment and your emotional center overpower that logical mind of yours sometimes. Now, the only thing left to do is wait. And that means patience. That means allowing it to happen. And when it does happen, and they say the all important words, you're hired, or whatever at this point, then you can take the next steps. But it is a little bit of a waiting game because the universe is making sure this is a locked in place moment. You know what I'm saying? We all have, they talk about it in a lot of time travel movies, where you're kind of, you get to a certain point in life where it's, you couldn't change it even if you wanted to, kind of a fixed point in time. That's what it was. So, and that's kind of what we're working on there is that waiting path is all about taking that emotional mind and that logical mind and saying, what is on my silver platter? What path do I want to take while I'm on my journey? Do I need to look back at where I was? Do I need to go down a easier path, a harder path, or an unseen path from this point forward? Is kind of what it's going to be up to. So I think that's a yes, be-do girl, that things are going to work out exactly the way you hope they are going to work out, according to the cards and according to what they're saying. But I can't control everything either, so I think you have, like I said, better chance than not. Let it be what it will be, and stop giving in to the fear and the anxiety of the when do I start should be the next question in your head, not the anything else. So we're going to give you these because I think you just need them today. Usually I'll ask sometimes, but you've been here long enough to say open, and I kind of felt like it was coming anyway. Tending back to yourself is what you should be doing until that time when you hear an answer. So until you do hear an answer, let's get back to doing the other work the universe wants us to do. Tending back to self. Get ourselves ready for the new beginning we are about to have. That's the thing we should start to be doing next. Tending back to ourself in a physical, mental, and spiritual way. Allowing the things that happened in our past to come back in a healthier, more positive way, like a fertilizer does in your fields. Without that fertilizer and that dirt together, you have better yields on those plants. Now we are pouring down into what we're going on in our lives right now, and it's going to be planting season with what we want to put down in here after we know what we have tended back to self. Now when we've healed self, let's put new roots down. Now what do I do while I'm waiting for these things to grow? Just go with the flow and do a wandering path. So the universe is basically saying, here's your plan, buddy. Take some time to do some self-care. Take a rest break. Enjoy this little break you have before you have to go to the next stage. Get ready to start doing some planting. Consider what you want to have happen. And then once you get there, go with the flow and let it just happen. And don't be worried about whether or not it's going in one direction or the other. At least you will be leaving the place you don't want to be anymore, one way or the other. And that's kind of what the universe is saying too. If the magic words, what if your boss walked in the door 2 seconds from now and said, "You're fired"? Would you laugh and walk out happily, knowing that you've already got a job waiting, kind of in that thing? Okay. So that's what you have to kind of think about and understand, is that the universe has a funny way of working itself out for you. All right, TC. Welcome in, my sister, my wonderful friend. I hope you don't mind me taking a quick little posture check moment here. Get that seat up a little bit further. I'm trying to use my back massager to help with the pain today. So, because I am in a little bit of pain today, but I didn't want to go another whole day without doing a stream before I took my weekend off, because tomorrow's my weekend off anyway. So if I have any more issues, that's when I'll be dealing with it. And I really wanted to get back to the trying to get some stuff done on my tarot deck crap, because that's important to me. Let's do a cleansing shuffle for TC here. I like to let you see the cards if I can. That way at least you can see that I'm shuffling. Good morning, Swift. Swifty. Good morning, Swifty. So there's the cleansing. Here are the 3 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Like, you think you're going to get away with it by picking a low number. God cards. Yeah. 4 God cards. Yeah, it's been a while since you got a God card, huh? And now, the 10. Right? 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Witchy Beth's in chat. Hey, everyone, say hi to my wifey. I liked your phrase when you like to say this. This is your phrase. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Ooh, something new for you today, huh? So someone's trying to definitely wake your butt up today. So let's see here what they're trying to tell you about this general question that you have. I know I got an itch in my nose right now. It's like the hair does not want to play nice with my other hairs. I have a weird nose. You ever notice that? I have a weird nose. Okay, now back into the what we need to know, TC, and the thing that we have to realize is that I'm giving you a general because this is what I feel you need. And it's about the gifts you are receiving and which ones you're ready to open up. Just like I've been telling you, it's all about the universe is giving you what you asked for. Now you get to say whether or not I'm ready for that gift. Even the best gift in the world can be an overpowering gift right now. You can pluck my nose hair later. And it's all about discovering which gifts I'm ready for, at what times I'm ready for them, and then allowing that to come into my life. And we're seeing it happen more and more and more and more because we want to know it's going to be okay. You know the willow tree story. It's about following a dream and manifesting my fate into becoming the person I wanted to become someday. Did I say to myself, I will become the unknown prophet? No, I said I will become a wise person who will help people, blah, 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 blah. Fill in the blank. Now I have a name for it, okay? And we're working on these things right now, and it means allowing them to develop. It means growing, swaying in the wind like a willow tree sways. It doesn't it bends in the wind. It doesn't break in the wind. It's one of the most versatile trees when it comes to those kind of deals, right? Well, it means you have to learn to sway in the wind a little bit more, to flop your hair all around and let it just dance in the wind a little bit. Dance in the wind of the breeze and let your leaves kind of all get all nice and jingly with it. You know, that nice smooth jazz of the leaves playing in the wind. And stop looking at your world as the darkness I'm walking through and start to discover the light that you are actually, because the reason you're attracting so much darkness is because you're so damn bright that the darkness goes, ooh, I have to be around you because guess what? You feel like a thing I want to be closer to life is what it is all about. So I have to look at that mirror and say, am I looking into the unknown possibilities that could be? Or am I looking into the light moving forward of everything that's going on in our lives at this moment? It's about finding the joy again, though, TC. And it's time to find the joy. Why are we on this journey? Why did we have that moment happen? Maybe the universe decided enough crap had happened to you and you deserved a break and you deserved all of this stuff. But in order to get you to true happy, to real happy, we have to move you in a really significant way so that you will find your best day ever being met, because not only are you having that day, creating that day, and living and breathing it, you are more going towards that journey of finding that enjoyment within your heart, that smile in the sky, that smile that says, look for the most beautiful, simplest sign that tells you, today is the day I find my happy. What does that mean to me? What is that mean inside of me? And you don't get choices. Ha 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 ha. And I can't believe it, but I knew you'd get something like this. That change, that dark night, that moment where we have to let go of the old self, the self we don't want, the self we want to be free of, the self that we have to get rid of, the self that was before this moment. Self-doubting, self-wondering, self-questioning. Now you suddenly know what you're here to do. Now you suddenly know all of this stuff. Something has to die. Well, something has to die for something to live. You have to go remind yourself you're in a process of life, death, and rebirth. Get which part we're at. We're dying the old self so a new self can be reborn. That is time to make those funeral arrangements because it's time to bury it and let it go and move on to the next stage, which is becoming and birthing and taking a leap of faith and allowing yourself this. Remind yourself that all of this is a leap of faith. You're trusting in the universe there. Trusting in the universe. Yes, exactly. Name. That they've got your golden parachute. They're asking you to name your child. We know what we're talking about, but what do I do once I get that? I better walk in sunshine once I've got it. Get around more positively minded people. Get around and get out of that fear-based living. And I have to start living around people who want to bring me this kind of energy in the first place so that I can bring all of that which I do want back into my life and reintegrate it in so that I can spark that flame of manifestation so that one day I will say this to myself. Oh, look. Hey, old self. Yes, old self. Hi, this is future self. Future self, guess what? What? We did it. Yay. What are you doing? What are you doing out there? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop it. Okay. But TC, that's why you're doing this and going through all of that stuff right now. Because you're ready for this significant, moving, manifesting, all of this stuff, whether you wanted it to be or not. You were ready for it. Now the universe is stepping up with that 2x4 going, now you asked for it. Are we ready for it? So, moving on. But I think you get the point there. Light Seeker, hi, here comes one of our good members, our newest VIP. Light Seeker to the chat. One of the most generous winners on my on this whole platform here. You're welcome, sweetie. And you know, we'll talk more about it on Sunday. Your homework is to take everything that I've taught you up to this point and start to apply it. I want to hear what your plan is or what you will be doing on Sunday. That's homework. All right, so homework is in. Notice, well, you know, gravity has a fun way of helping me get my exercise in. And stretching my back out. See? Gravity. Let me do a cleansing shuffle real quick. And I'm going to take this Snoop Dogg hit for the lovely Witchy Beth. Let's clean these cards off here. And then we've got 7 and 11 for you today, general reading. Oh, they're mouthy today. That's the one who won the prize pack I was telling you about.
Oh, Light Seeker?
Yeah. Although my giving is officially done now, no more gifts to anybody else. I've got to save the rest of it for me. And making sure we have a buffer too. So, you know, I've got to wait till at least payday before I do any more spending. At least on nothing more or less than maybe a food delivery, maybe one more time later this week, somewhere down the road. Here are your 7 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you want coffee, give me your cup, by the way. Anybody else want coffee out there? This has been provided by Witchy Beth. Coffee for everybody. This cup is one of my good friends' cups, Games with Snakes. You can get that on their merchandise store. Go check them out today. See, we promote our friends here. I would like to say
lovely lady.
Partner for Agent Zero, partner for Venora, partner for OT Solo, and partner for Games with Snakes. All of the above. Partner those people as soon as possible. I don't care if you ever partner my ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the 11th card is General for the Light Seeker. Already doing their namesake. Alright. So, Light Seeker, generally, what do we need to know for yourself right now? And you have been doing this a lot and living in this a lot lately. Yes, what you did for me and for others have made you feel good, but the universe also sees it, and they're shining you up for you as well. Abundance isn't always about a monetary thing. Abundance can mean a lot of different things. And the abundance you're getting right now is different than the abundance I'm getting. And feeling that glowing, happy feeling inside of ourselves that happened, that's happening, all of this going on, it was the start of something even bigger. Changing and moving you through those changes again. You know, like I was telling somebody else recently, we go through these cycles of life, death, and rebirth. All of the time, even in the waking world, even in the living world, we go through this cycle. Every day, every second of every moment, something in us is living and dying. You know, every moment of every day, we meet different challenges. And it's about those challenges that we are facing and how we meet with that positive attitude. Now we move through the changes of our life. And we become and set down the foundation that will help way more people or way more people in our lives. Because the bounty we get will only be bestowed on all of those others that are surrounding us. And setting that new foundation down so that this is the life and the kind of life we want to live now. We are setting down that new safe spot. That spot where we are the person we were meant to become. And doing that. The only thing we have left to do is, confirmationally wise, is listen to that inner voice inside of ourselves. You have a good team of guides and higher powers working with you. Listening to those inner voices that are telling you to do those things like you have done are your higher self telling your mundane self, I am doing a good job. I am wielding the magic correctly in my life. If it feels good, if it does all of that stuff. And now you are on that foundation part. Yes, you are. This is it. That's what you have to start to say is, this is what I want my new foundation to be. What ingredients do I want to go into that foundation? What shape, what size, what color, what weight? Where is it located? What's around it? What kind of seasons is it planted in? What kind of a world have I made it? Crafting that magic that they've given you into an actual world takes mundane work. They can give you ideas, they can give you inspirations, they can tell you which ways to go. But if you don't listen to what they're trying to tell you or what you're trying to tell yourself, then it will never ever come to pass. So remind yourself to listen to those guides inside of yourself and know they have your back, that they're giving you all of that which you need to follow your heart, your path, all of that stuff. So that's basically what you needed to know today. I think it was more of a confirmation that you're on that everything's going exactly the way you want it to go right now. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So when you're ready, if you want them to calm down now, Light Seeker, now you have to just ask them to quiet down a little bit. Turn down the radio a little bit. Think of it like a dial. I'm turning it down to the right volume. I can hear what I need to hear, the important information, but now that's the last phase. And that's what we're working on somewhere in the future. Once we get all of those ducks in a row, you will hear the quiet. You will find a very stillness within yourself, and you will feel this sense of power raise within you. It's called, you're kind of overcoming that dark night of a soul moment when you're rebirthing yourself. That's the rebirth feeling. So that's what we're going through and working towards now, is the rebirth part. Now, poof, woohoo, new spirit, new life, new everything. And I didn't even read all that stuff about you saying it was quiet now. So it sounds like you're on track. Which I wouldn't know if you were going through any of those phases either. Even if the moment I'm saying it, you're actually typed it in right before I say it. It's like, how did we do? Do we work this out? And now, yeah, tired. And give yourself a break from it too. Just give yourself a nice mundane day of fun or rest. Don't always have to work on everything. You can give yourself permission to go be an idiot. Okay, I did something I wasn't expecting today. Oh, doop. Oopsie. Bitchy Beth. Oh, wait. Witchy Beth. My lovely wife. I did that on purpose. Ha 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 ha.
You're lucky I like this cup. Otherwise, I would have thrown it in.
Yeah, she said if she likes, I'm good. Good. I have ducking abilities, because if the cup weren't her favorite cup, she'd be throwing it at my head right about now. And I said, sure you would. You haven't ever thrown a damn thing at my head ever once to begin with, and I've done some pretty outrageous stuff in our marriage, so I don't know. We'll see. What are your numbers, my wonderful, beautiful soulmate? Here's a true test.
5.
5. So her first number is 5. And let me finish cleaning the cards off here. They're already getting mouthy with me. Alrighty, and
Or
there.
with me, depending on how you look at it.
There you go. And you said 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm surprised. 5. The second number.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let the fuzzball in when you get a chance.
Oh.
Welcome to the room. So, Witchy Beth, today, of all days, you must celebrate. I've been encouraging us to be a little bit more frivolous with the money. Now we have to start paying attention to it. We've got things coming in on Monday and next week that are going to be the conclusion of all of the other things that I'm saying to myself here. So, it's time for you to remind yourself to get around that moment, to take time to celebrate. Take time to celebrate what we are achieving on a personal level. What we have overcome. The last couple of weeks have not been easy for my baby. Have not been easy for the last couple of months. But she had to endure that, because body is body and mind is mind, and sometimes soul is soul, and sometimes the universe makes you deal with one at a time. But you know more than anyone that destiny is working out exactly the way it was supposed to be working out, and that everything will be okay. You already know my story of the willow tree, but you have to bend like the wind too, and start to bend more in your respective world. because the only thing I see you yet not doing in your life is learning how to take the hit and still sway and come back to a place of center. That's what you know you have to do, and draw those nutrients up from the willow trees. Are one of the most expansive root systems out there, except for oaks. Oaks and willow trees are probably the two biggest root systems out there, and they spread themselves far and wide. So it's no, yeah, she knows all about the tree thingy. So maybe you need to embrace your willow tree portion of who you are, you know, and what that means to you as a druid, as a worshiper of that. So maybe this is speaking to your druid's nature and what you need to start to say to yourself now that we are getting this abundance, and we had this abundance now when we don't have that time. Yes, I will in just a second. More coffee for the wifey and all the masses. Coffee. And that means
Pookie Bear.
now you see how our relationship works on a normal basis. This is her and me on an everyday basis. This is us communicating. I'm trying to tell her something important. She asks me for coffee, even though I'm trying to do something that's for her on stream. She's right over here in the left-hand part of my screen there going, hi, honey. And although you can't see her, she's in her birthday suit at the moment. Beautiful. Anyway, so you have to get over the guilty feelings of the success, because for whatever reason, maybe you feel like we don't deserve it, or we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, or whatever else may happen there. I don't necessarily think it's about that. I think it's you knowing that we want to be ginger. You know that this last thing that I want to do is important to me, and you want to be able to give me that gift like I've given you so many of the gifts I've given you. So it's not about your success, it's about my success from what I'm feeling here. But it's also about what energy this will build up in you to show you can do it as well. Because that forge is starting to get built up so you can do some of the work you need to do. Physically, yeah, I know we're over it. We're done with it. We're tired of it. It's never going to not be that. Number 2, the mental work begins. The spiritual work begins. Now we have to bring all those into focus so that that forge can get red hot, so that when we are working on the new portion of who we want to be next, that's what comes on. And that's your reading for today, my lovely lady, Witchy Beth. Smoke break, talk break. Mr. Savage is next. Okay, let's see here. Mr. Savage. After that argument I and my crush had, we are back in friendly terms, but it had to surrender to her and say I liked her at the cards stated to tell me at the time to go for self-love while letting her be the hermit for now, which can't do without releasing the burden of my secretly loving her, and agreed to take a we're just good friends. Anyways, it's a love. It would surely come back, but then how should I pursue my self-love? Okay. So now that romantic love is out of the wheel box and we moved it into the friends category, now how do I work on the self-love part? That's a good question. So 3 and 30. Let me do a cleansing shuffle for you here first. Get my wife's energy off of there. Not that you couldn't use a little magic in your life. My wife is the Stone of Magic. So this one is brought to you by the Stone of Magic. And here we go. Let me get your numbers are 3 and 30. So here are your 3 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Our house panther decided to attack Mama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and the 30th card, Mr. Now you know why he sometimes earns that name, Lucifer. Because sometimes he is a little bit of a mean bastard. He is a little devil once in a great mood. He, him and Mama like to play fight with the arm. Well, now he'll do that to her at random because he thinks that's playtime. Not doing the things we need to do. So what do you do now of that self-love portion of you for you, though? What is your journey telling you to time to take? What is he? Well, eat your blood. All right. Well, little house panthers aside. So, where do we go from here? Now you know that it is time to repair the shield. We must repair the thing that used to protect us. Now we're not trying to protect ourselves from the hurt of the answer we didn't want to get back. Now we can start to protect ourselves from the real harm that's in this world. The real things that we need to protect ourselves from by putting that positivity cloak of armor back on ourselves. By saying self, self, it's time to take the warm shower to shower down on me all of that warmth that I need in my life again. I no longer need to protect myself from the hurt, so now I need to be able to feel the joy come in. So I'm not going to keep that barrier up that's going to be so strong now that I'm going to keep everything out. I'm opening myself up to the possibility for something better to fill its place. Emptying the cup and filling the cup. God, darn it. I got the chihuahuas. Oof. But the sleek card is all about putting that coat of armor back on in a more positive way. So being more positively minded and start thinking in a more positive respect. Ask yourself what you're really willing to work on, what you have to start to build that protective of self again. I want to protect myself in a healthy way, not an egotistical, I'm better than you are way. Okay? Yes, we want to have a healthy ego, but not so much we think of ourselves as gods, even though sometimes we are just that. It's all about the seeds we plant next. And this is the stage that we need to start to really consider. What physical thing do you need to really start to do better for yourself in a physical way? Doctors need to be followed. Medications need to be taken. Things that we are supposed to be doing for our healthy body, including that which includes our mental brain as well. Our body is included in this mental portion of it. All of that is together. Mental and physical are pretty hand in hand because it's kind of hard to separate those two. A soul comes in hand as well, but you have to take one seed for one reason, one seed for another reason, one seed for the final reason, and connecting them and putting them down into solid ground that's going to grow somewhere in the future. That solid dirt will be ready for you to finally plant in. So now we have to make sure we are ready for the change that is about to happen. Oh, great, Alakazam. Okay? Anyway. But pursuing your self-love means looking at the reflection of what you do have within you saying, and looking back at that reflection and saying, I love that about me. It's loving the part of yourself that worries too much, the part of yourself that doesn't always do everything right. It's about all of those other stuff that keeps going on. It's about you giving in to some of those things you aren't able to control at the moment. I'm an addicted man who likes cannabis, who's smoking cannabis for pain relief. I'm trying to use it responsibly, but I have a fuck ton of money right now, so why the fuck not? Right? You know what I'm saying? But it's all about that balance. You know, they say do things that are within not an excess. Do just enough to get yourself through and keep the addictions at bay. All life is an addiction. We're here to experience this life for a reason, the way we're experiencing it. And seeing that real reflection back in return, Mr. Savage, is seeing that beautiful oak tree in the mirrors. That's what we're looking for. We're seeing that self we always knew we were as the complete whole portion, not just the little mirrors that make up that picture. I will hydrate. Is that good enough hydration for all of you? Ha 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 ha. What's that? Oh, and then we have this extra card for you as well. As well, Mr. Savage. Do you want to know? Bro didn't hydrate, he drained it. Glug, 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 glug. Filling station has now gone drained. I'm looking out. Yeah, I can be funny sometimes. But do you want to see your God card? Is my second question there, Mr. Savage. Do you want to know the second question you have for today? That you might want to know an answer to. Posture check. I just posture checked like 3 times now. If you see me keep doing this, this is me posturing checking. You are more put together than you think you are. So what your higher power is trying to tell you is that you're more together than you're giving yourself credit for right now. That you're about exactly where you're supposed to be in your path right now. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at the exact moment. You're getting to this point where you are now becoming those portions of yourself that has healthier, better kind of habits now. That's what we're getting into now. This is you saying, I am. Will find self-love someday. So you want to know if you will? Hell the fuck yeah, you will. And then we've got String Zone is next in chat. You are a returning chatter, but I don't remember your name, so welcome on back, String. It's been a while since I've seen you here, so and I apologize for not remembering you. But just in case you've forgotten, what are your numbers for today? 1 through 10. How many times do you want me to shuffle the deck for you? 1 through 52. That's where the answers will be in your deck. And it's your turn. And let me read what you just said, Elka. Something silly happened today after school. A girl got ran over by the bus, and I feel bad for the driver. He's a good guy. Yeah, well, things happen sometimes. If you're a commercial driver, you're supposed to be paying attention to all of that so that that never happens. So it's both the student's fault and the driver's fault. As much as we want to say that the student didn't have something to do with it, why were they in the front of the bus they weren't supposed to be and the place they weren't supposed to be at? So, yeah, yeah. Whatever. Cleansing shuffle time for String Zone. And welcome back, my friend. General reading for you today, I'm assuming. So, a good question. Unfortunately, sometimes life just happens too. Sorry about the really nice driver. But that's why we have protections. And that's why we have to, just take that all into account. That just try to remind yourself that hopefully no one died. That's the important thing. A leg is not as bad as a life, so let's be okay with that. It was just a leg. Here we go with your 3 official shuffle string. 1, 2, 3. And you have 1 God card that just popped out for you. And 6 card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th card is what do you need to know today? Sometimes in life, String Joan, the thing that we need to hear the most is that the plan is going pretty well on track. And the potential that we are having in our lives right now of this change in movement, that we are finally realizing that, yeah, there are some things I'm more capable of than I felt I was capable of even a year ago, hell, even a month ago. We've learned how to tap into our potentials a little bit. What I'm feeling from you more than anything is this surgence of rebelief in self, rebelief in doing something better, learning how to put it, things going on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let Witchy Beth answer that one here. Um, but the potential that you are currently going through and finding that this little bud on a tree can become whatever you want it to be, realizing that and then allowing it to happen. Now that's where we're at. We're allowing it to open up and become this portion of what we do with that potential. Now, are we finally ready to move some of these things out of ourselves or our lives that are no longer serving us any purpose? Some bad habits, or some things that we keep doing to ourselves that maybe aren't necessarily good, positive things for our life. We need to go through the trials and tribulations. Yes, we need to go through the heartbreak and the sorrow sometimes too. But everything isn't designed to be done against you. Sometimes life just happens, folks. It's not always being done against you. It's not being done to you. It's not being done for you. It's just being done. And that's the inner oak card is of what you need to start to learn is that there's some old furniture in the home that you are currently building within yourself that has to be moved out. So these old bad furniture that is uncomfortable, that you don't want in your house ever again, you don't move back into the new house. You don't want to bring the fleas with you, okay? Because you love your kitty cat. And that's where we're getting on. Yeah, I'm just saying that inward, we're moving in some better, new kind of furniture. That just means adopting some new ways of thinking about it sometimes and stuff like that. And understanding that's where I'm at. Now, knowing that I'm not missing any puzzle piece, that I'm missing something, where do I want my life to go now? Now that I'm not in the what am I supposed to be doing portion of my life and what is my purpose portion of my life, and if that is something you're still trying to figure out, then dive into that unknown possibilities of what will be, because that's just the piece, that's the only piece that's missing, is the one that has yet to develop yet. All these other pieces are everything else that you've done up to this point. The only one left is the one that you haven't seen for a while because you forgot to dust it off. And now that you can kind of see what's coming a tiny bit, now we're starting to prepare for that. To re-embrace our life once again. To re-embrace our journey. To re-embrace ourselves. To re-embrace life as a whole. To say, I'm ready to go experience. I'm really ready to go live in the moment and really breathe that is all what it means in this moment. Because it's about you saying, I am and have this ability to do this. Why the hell not? Well, why the hell not? You know what I'm saying? Hello, that lad from the UK. Welcome on in. I hope you had an amazing stream. Welcome on in. I went to go show some much needed love to that lad from the UK the other day because it was as he was having a very positive stream, but I felt like I could make it even better, so I made him have a best day ever moment. Yeah, and this deck is being published. I'm just working on some of the editing stuff right now. If you guys want to check out what that's all about, in this link above in my pinned message up there, you should see a link that links you to my Kickstarter campaign. So if you guys want to check out my Kickstarter campaign and contribute to that, it's almost fully funded. I have until March 11th to get that completed, and that will fulfill that portion of my journey. And then what we have left to do is editing, getting it into a printing press, yada yada. But yes, that's what's going on. So I have one last question for you, String. There's been another question you've been trying to ask the universe for an answer for recently And I don't know how long you've been away, but I have been doing this a lot more recently. So if you would want to know what your God's trying to tell you right now, this could be the answer you need. These will kick some spiritual ass just in case you haven't been here for a while. And if you've changed your name and I don't remember who you are, well, that's okay too. I still love you, Pookie Bear, whoever you are. So, what do you need to do with that answer? It's time to release it. Today is the day to let it go. Whatever this is, whatever thing is going on in your life, if this is something you need to move past or let go of, today is the day to let it out and let it go. Tell someone what's going on completely, 100%, all the way. You need to go find a way to release this so you can never get it back. I'm going to tell you to do something today that I think will help you. Go find an ugly old rock somewhere out in your very general vicinity. Go ask your higher power to create a void in that can take away all the negative crap you don't want anymore. But there's one thing you need to remove from self that you need to let go of that you can put in a rock. Yes, just an ugly old, plain old, simple rock. No special markings, no nothing. Nothing you would ever care to ever want ever back again. That's the whole point. Okay? And then create that void. Ask your higher power to do that for you. And every single day that you want this crap or this thing to let go away from you, you think about it and it pours into this rock and locks away. Once it's in there, it can't get out until you throw it away in a place you can never ever get it back. And that's what you have to tell your higher power you want your rock to be able to do. And then I want you to go find and I want you to think about the one thing that you really need to let go of, okay? And I want you to go put that thing in there mentally. And I want you to pray on that rock every single day until you feel like it is full. I mean shit full, completely full, all the way full. Then you ask that higher power to lock it. Go find a place you can never ever get that rock back ever again. Take it in your hot little hand and with every fiber of your being, with everything you have in your heart, this is the last time you will ever have this in your life. This one thing. Now you can do this for about a year or a day, as long or as short as you want to do it for. Just make sure that you don't do it longer than a year. Okay? Then you go find that rock and you take it in your hand and you go, get out of here! Whoosh! Out of the hand it goes. No place you can ever get back again. Boom! Onto the ground it goes. Then you have to do the second part. Aha! Ha 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 ha! You need to take at least a 3-day rest period where you don't worry about what happened. Just allow yourself to rejoin normal everyday life. Then go buy a pretty rock. You get where I'm going here. Go find a rock that makes you feel light, happy, the kind of life that you want. And do the exact opposite. For the exact amount of time you did for the ugly rock, you do for the beautiful rock. So go buy a rock where you're going to fill the ultimate positive light that's going to fill it with any and all positive energy that you don't need extra, that you don't already need. So it's only going to take the extra you don't need, not the stuff you already have, okay? So it's going to store it like a battery, like one of those, rechargeable batteries. And what we're going to do is we're going to create that light that can be a rechargeable battery. But there's one thing you need to put back into yourself in place of what that you removed. And you want you to do this for the exact amount of time, praying on that rock the same way, only now you're putting the more positive thoughts into that rock. For if you did it for 3 days with the ugly rock, you have to do it for 3 days with the beautiful rock, just to give you a general list. Okay? And then whenever you need that energy ever again in your life, you go and you ask your higher power to give you what you need for that day. And that's all that you need to do. And I challenge you to go try that, but it's up to you whether or not you want to do it or not, okay? And that's what I got for you today there, my friend. String Zone. And that's something that I learned how to do. That is not only I tied it into my spirituality, but that was given to me as a exercise by a psychiatrist at the time when I really needed something like that. So that is an actual mental technique I learned from a professional. So you can have a little bit of safety knowing that does kind of have some benefit of doing. There's also the plate. There's also a lot of things you can do to get rid of things, but they're all depending on what your things is. And now I'm just giving you an easier way to do it. You're very welcome, and I hope I did help you today. I hope what you got today was a path that will lead you back to your best day ever. That's all I can ask for. Elka, what's going on, sweetie? What is all this bus stuff? I mean, I want to go back and read what you said about the bus driver. You know, me and my wife were both professional bus drivers. So, I'm kind of reading back what you says, yeah, you know. What you said a little bit because I didn't get to see the whole story. Not really the driver's fault. The bus gets swarmed by, and he was trying to stop in the permit side, but people kept pushing the girl. Yeah, that's not his fault. Yeah, that's definitely not his fault. Yeah, that's something that driver couldn't have planned for, even if they were doing everything.
There should be no way that he should be charged.
Yeah, there's as far as a professional bus commercial driver, me and my wife were both commercial bus drivers, but we did more of the adult version. Now, kids are even stricter about who they hire for people. We don't want the want to touch you, feel you kind of people around kids, so of course they're a lot more stricter with their background checks. You know what I'm saying? And then they've got the other portion of it too, where sometimes it's like it is everywhere right now, where everyone's struggling to make people go to work because people are realizing they don't need to go to work to make money anymore because people will pay you to sit in front of a computer screen doing absolutely nothing but shuffling cards on, you know? Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? But it's still public and kids, you know, it's there's only so much you can do as a driver, and when you know, when stuff like that happens that the driver can't plan for, you know, the only thing he could have done better was maybe slow down a whole bunch and waited for that whole group of people to just get out of his way. He could have waited. He could have stopped and just put his thing in park, and when he could have looked down further, a little bit further down the road, there's a bunch of things that everyone could have done something right, you know, here. So warning flashes, you know, stuff like that. So people stop so that, you know, they're not, well, I don't know. If it's the public transportation, it won't have, you know, it'll have hazard lights. So as long as people are obeying the rules of the road, that works, you know. Just give me a second to have a quick cigarette break real quick, Alka, and then we'll do your general reading, and then I'll do a cleansing shuffle and all that stuff.
Honey, you're frozen on my computer.
Okay. Well, one moment, please. Let them know I am having OBS issues. Okay, dropped frames connecting here. Maybe I'm frozen on yours, but it doesn't say I'm connected. I've got CPUs just fine. Try refreshing your screen because it could be you, not me.
Well, that's what I was just checking.
My wife's having computer issues on her end now. Saying, haha, your turn. It is. It is indeed. That's better. I needed a little bit more coffee in my sugar. All right, so let's get to doing your cleansing shuffle. 4 and 8 are your things. Let's get done with the bus talk now. I'm sorry to hear that driver went through it and that you had to experience watching that all happen and unfold. Well, can serve as an important lesson and or just, you know, free will game time, you know. Yay, free will game time. All right, 4 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 God card for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I have to open this window a little bit now. It's getting warm in here. But I didn't want the thing to keep going off on me so I can't hear anything. So what do we need to know today, Elka? lights are weird. If you need the big light for a second, turn on the big light. Give it a second.
Yeah, it's hot.
Just one moment, please.
Oh.
She dropped something on the groundy, and now she's trying to find said thingy.
My bowl. The bowl to my bong. It went down, and now I don't see it.
Move your stump.
Yes, we are.
No, I said move your stump so I can see underneath you. I can't see underneath the chair, so I can't even see. Well, you'll have to get up and get it. Open the door if you need to. It's fine. You lost another one of those bad boys. Not my fault.
Oh, could I have a cigarette? Thank you.
Okay, so you can open that door if you want to. It's getting quite toasty in here, so I can close the window. Door's open, I don't need the window. Door's closed, I need the window. Okay, thank you for giving me a moment to do mundane issues. Woohoo! Mundane, yay! So,
Ooh.
so let me see, go read back at what you're saying here. Yeah, because, teams they won't really care. Lights were given. Yeah, exactly. Okay, stream is going well. God's going to be saying, I saw you trauma, and I'll give you trauma cards now. Yes, take your time. So, back to the general reading, okay, though? And trauma cards, I don't know what you meant by that, but yeah, the trauma's in the cards now. Okay, I know it's a lot different for kids nowadays, but when I was growing up, the whole video game violence thingy was a big deal. And, there were a lot of people out there who thought that was going to ruin the world by now, Well, depending on how you look at it, it kind of did a little, but I don't think it was the video games that did it. No. It's not the video game's fault. You don't know how to behave as a human being. Okay, just a tiny bit too much sugar in there. So what you need to know about what you're working on right now there, Alka, is that this sense of loss that you're going through right now, and that what you're currently going through, okay, is moving and losing a part of yourself from one stage of youth to adulthood, and moving from one stage of maturity to a new stage of maturity. And that means we have to let some of the old things we used to believe that were true and accept the realities of our future. So that's kind of what yeah. And that's what it's time to do, is not give in to the mundane fears anymore. And now we have to move out those bad old habits that used to keep us locked in a negative aspect of life, and now move new, better furniture in its place. It's not enough to just move these things out of you. It has to be moved out, but something has to go in its place, or more bad crap will just keep filling in that spot. It's kind of like you going to your favorite restaurant and getting the cup full of dirty water, and you keep asking for a clean cup, but they keep giving you new water. The cup is dirty. It's always going to be dirty water because the cup is dirty. Now the water isn't dirty until you put it into the cup. Now if you got a clean cup with clean water, you get the idea. Okay, it's not much of a difference, but it is a difference. Okay, it wasn't clean to begin with. You can't clean it with new, more cleaner water. Is not going to make it any cleaner until you wash that thing out. Make sure that it's not dirty anymore, depending on what was in it in the first place. You got doubt, fear, and anxiety in there already. Well, you got to fill it with a lot more positive affirmations. It's about time you loved all of life and re-embraced it again. What are you so afraid of anyway? Choices? Change? Things getting better? Things getting, I don't know, maybe leading to you to a day where things can say, I'm on a better path, I'm on a better journey. When is it enough to say, I can start to embrace my life rather than worrying about all of the crap it used to represent? Let me get this crap out of my nose. I'm using that as an example. You know what I'm saying? It's called a booger for a reason. I don't want it in my body. It doesn't want to be in my body. I don't want it in my body any more than it wants to be in my body. But every once in a while, I've got to grab my nose by the side here and go, get out and stay out. That means embracing that the parts that I do need are still going to be good within me. I just got rid of a booger here. I didn't get rid of my lung. Although it does feel like that from time to time, especially when we're smoking some green. But it's about the potential that you have and where you take that potential. And where you take that potential is that you are just like that bud on a tree who has yet to form. You got to take sun in, positivity in for that thing to grow. You got to allow those emotional rains to wash over you and not only feed you but cleanse you of your own crap. Poof, you're almost a full-blown leaf. Then the wind comes along and blows you the rest of the way open, and you become and live the life of a leaf. But you know that that leaf is going to have to fall off of that tree someday and go to the ground and be recycled and renewed as something that will feed that tree. So that means that the potential will come and you will use it, and then you will move on and have learned from that. But you can't keep sitting there and wondering what is your destiny. Why are you going all through all of this right now? Because contemplation, the choices that are in front of you seem scary and insurmountable. But you don't realize how lucky you are to have as many as you do. Whereas a lot of people would give anything to be in your position right now, you are taking it for granted by saying, I don't have a choice. Of course you have a choice. You have more choices than a lot of different people do. You just got to find one that feels the best for you, and that is what you grab. You take and let out what you don't want. You take what you do need. You embrace that part of yourself. You allow that seed to grow and become what it will become, and then you don't have so many questions anymore. I watched brutal vids as a kid. Now barely flinch when I see anything brutal happens. I suppose you can say it made me grow up a mundane fears. Yeah, well, I mean, but then you also took that experience and said, okay, you didn't want to go out and do the things you saw in the video. You didn't want to go make that happen in this world. You didn't get so scared that you locked yourself in a little box for the remainder of your life, worrying about when that was going to be done to you. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the important part of where you're at, is that growth is just like a caterpillar coming out of the cocoon. The butterfly doesn't question whether or not it can fly. It just starts to dry its wings off and get ready to fly. You know? Yeah. But we do have one more answer for you, Elka. And that's your God card message for today. You wanted to take a look at the God card. Okay. And I think this is exactly what you need to do on top of that, moving new furniture in. Some of that furniture that you will be moving out, it's time to burn some of that furniture too. It's not going to be enough to just move it out of the house. You're going to have to add it to your bonfire so that it can't ever come back into you, but it's not going to just be thrown away. It's going to be used as fuel to your fire. And that's the important part of this message, that you're not just going to throw those logs away. You're going to put them in that bonfire that's going to empower you and keep you going on then. The name, it's called Stoke. Stoke is the name of the card. It means to stoke yourself up for success, burning away all that which you do not need in your fire, but using as fuel for the fire, and adding all that which you do need as fuel for the fire to continue that energy going forward. That's what that card's all about. So that answers some mundane answer to a question you've been asking. Hey God, what am I supposed to do right now? Somehow, some way that answers that question. It's up to you and your God to decide where you go from here. But I think you know what that means. I'm feeling more of a, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Moment. I think we're going to take a quick, good old fashioned toke break and clear the queue off. Get get some of this coffee that was a little too sugary. Now, not so sugary anymore, hopefully. I had to add more coffee in the pot in order to make it less sugary. And usually that's the opposite problem. I have to add more sugar than. Like, okay. Now that's actually not that bad, so. Okay, but you know. Yeah, she's working on development. She's a W amputee, still healing from surgery, still healing and learning how to walk and get over some of her own personal physical obstacles. Now she's starting to work on the mental. Along with that, has always been a part of her journey with that stuff as well. But now it's the spiritual stuff that's kicking in. That's kicking her butt a tiny bit because now she's being asked to own up to all of that stuff. And the universe is going, okay, are you really ready for this? And making her own up to her own crap so that she can be a good leader, good person of service, yada yada. And her journey is her journey, my journey is my journey. Those are the separate parts of our lives. That doesn't mean we don't share everything with one another about what happens with their own journeys, but still. you know? So having a soulmate and someone who's tied to your soul, and when you really know that, you are afraid of losing that constantly. But I also can't sit here every day and be worried I'm going to lose her. Because if I do that, I'm going to be so worried I lose her that I'm not going to love her. Live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we get to go on doing next, you know? and we've had our ups and downs. We've been married 18 years. 18 years. And we've had our ups and downs with it. It has been a journey. It's been work. It hasn't always been like this. There were times where we didn't trust it. We didn't cherish it enough. Where one person thought one person's trauma was too much for them to handle. When one person didn't know how to handle their own trauma. Medical issues. Almost loss of life. Suicide attempts. Blah, blah, blah. Everything in between. You know, there's a lot there. You know what I'm saying? It didn't just come overnight. This kind of love, not giving up on one another, no matter what happened, you know? It took a lot for me when we first met to even say I wanted to be with her. She was a person who had already overcome the worst kind of disease you can overcome in this world. Cancer or AIDS are pretty much the two biggest ones that no one wants to get anymore. Well, she was already a cancer survivor, and I wasn't too sure I wanted someone who could have that again. But then everybody has that potential too. So it was like, am I being silly here by being worried about a disease she may never get again? You know what I'm saying? And I was. But, I took a minute to think about it. I wasn't, didn't jump into it going, hey, I'm ready for that much challenge. What if that had meant I have to, in about a year, I'm taking care of her in a bed for the rest of her life? You know what I'm saying? Can I be okay with living with only having her that short amount of time? And my answer, of course, was yes. I'd rather have some time than no time. So it's been 18 years, almost 19 sooner. No, 18's this year. 19 together, 18 married. Yeah, uh, we don't marry. That old phrase, we marry like an old married couple? We don't argue hardly at all. We don't marry like an old married couple. That's just the thing. We hardly ever argue. We actually have to find reasons to fight sometimes. We play fight because we don't fight enough. Because we feel that we need to do that every once in a while in our marriage. We have to have a fight. That's how weird our relationship is. We actually want the fight. Oh, you're screwing up. You're screwing up. You know? And is it perfect? No. Oh, I can. There are a lot of things that I would love her to be able to do that she doesn't do. There's a lot of things I don't do that she would love to say I would do. But we just are you two parents or just you two? No, unfortunately, my wife's disease took away her ability to have children, and my disease took away my ability to have children. So it was never gonna have kids. We wanted to, but if we had met earlier in life, that could have happened. But when we met, it wasn't happening. I had very low counts and some deformities in that area, and she had cancer, and the whole system isn't there anymore to give birth to anything. So it's kind of hard to become parents when you don't have that. We thought about adopting. I did try to become a parent through a surrogate once, through a very special woman that we knew as our friend, that we tried to have a surrogate family with. It didn't work out. The child never came. We conceived, but never that life never happened. So and it was a body issue and it was stress issue and all of that stuff, and she was a little bit more older in her age, and can't lie, I was ready to be a dad, and we thought we could take her egg and my sperm and make a baby, and we could all raise that kid together, because me and my wife, we wanted to have kids, so we did think about the adoption thing too. But at that time, we didn't have the financial, even close to our financial self, to take care of ourselves, and we didn't feel like we could bring a child into our lives. We didn't want it. We didn't want a kid for a paycheck. Okay, we weren't trying to, get as many kids on the doctor so that we can get our government taken care of. And it comes in stages. It really does. Okay, it comes in stages. It goes through goods. It goes through bads. It goes through just I don't know. Um, couldn't have even been 9 hours ago. She was in a self-doubting, self-pitying mood because her pain had gotten to her to a point where so bad she couldn't take it anymore. That brought her anxiety and depression on all the other stuff up to way beyond what she could do at that moment. So her mind, body, and spirit broke, and I had to wait for her to go through her moment and try to be a supportive husband and remind her how much of an idiot she's being all at the same time. And then not feel bad about when I have to say things like, honey, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, XYZ, here you go. Well, you're a little bit stuck, blah, 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 a bunch of things I could say at this moment that she already knows, you know. See, we didn't take those oaths. We took 22 different ones. We took a 22 oath to our marriage. So we made 22 promises to one another, to each other, when we got married. So you think the till death do you part's enough? I didn't think it was enough. She didn't think it was enough. We wanted more. We wanted the whole kit and caboodle. It's not about the. It's not always about the in sickness and in health part. It's about the living it in joy and happiness too, living in the happy and being okay with the happy too, because there are a lot of people who get the happy and then self sabotage themselves because they don't think they deserve happy. On what weird level that is, even though they've said their whole lives, "I wish I was happy." You know what I'm saying? It's a conundrum. We're not perfect beings for reasons. Free will is a bitch. That does not always mean we get it right. All right. We're going to take ourselves a little bit of a hit here. Breathe deep. The breath of life. For today will be your best day ever. I don't just say these words and don't mean them. It's a literal choice I make every single day to wake up and meet the day knowing I'm going to have the best day ever. And I've had a couple crap ass days trying to believe it's still the best day ever. And it hasn't always been a fun day. And I can't tell you how many times that phrase has come into my mind at the worst possible moments when it's kind of the I told you, and you keep saying you're going to have the best day ever. It keeps trying to show me, well, let's see how you do with this one and see if you still say that, you know, because it tests me from time to time too. But now it's done testing me, and now it's done testing my negative answers. Now it wants to see if I can accept the positive too. So I got to accept the positive as much as I accept the negative. So now I'm wondering where everyone went to. Where did everybody run away to now? Well, maybe it's time to put on some pretty music for a little bit. There's a light that never goes out. I may suggest. There is a light that never goes out. Okay? Go for it. Tell me what I need to know. That's a good oath. Everyone has their own. Voice is very mute and I can't understand. How about now? Is it better now? I turned down the desktop audio. Okay, now I turned my mic up all the way again now and turning it up the desktop audio just a tiny bit till I can see it kind of start here. What do you think now? Is it too hot? Can you hear music in the background? Still, but still hear me better? Okay, so so this is better as a voice. So the music isn't really helping. Okay. Let me see here. Let me know when you can hear it. How does one get a reading? You say, I want a reading. And then I say, oh, you want one, huh? Then I say, or you can press the old exclamation point, join, or something like that. One of those two words. Yes, you can have a reading. Let me do a cleansing shuffle for you, that lad from the UK. And thank you for lurking for a while and popping in and checking me out and seeing what I'm all about here. I do appreciate that very much so today that you came to do that. I know you're showing the love back in return. I'm going to turn this music down though, because it's just, too annoying when I'm doing readings. So here we go, back into the reading mode. So now all I need from you, lad, is you to pick some numbers for me. 1 through 10. I'm going to shuffle this deck for you that many times. Then pick a second number, 1 through 52. That's where the answers you seek will be. If you have a question you need to ask it as simply as possible. If you want a general reading, just say general reading. Other than that, I will let you know what's going on after that point. If cards pop out of the deck while I'm shuffling like that, then that's your higher power reaching out to you today, telling you something you needed to hear today that you've been saying, hey, ask me a question what I've been trying to ask you. Please answer, please answer, please answer. They go, okay. You know what I'm saying? So general reading, throw me your numbers, 7 and we'll get to the second one here in a second here. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You even get God cards on your first time in here. And you are at 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 29th card is now on top. All right, let's see what we got for Lad to know today. What you need to hear today? So I have a saying: we tell you what you need to know, not necessarily what you want to know. These are not your sugarcoat kind of tarot reading. I will kick your spiritual ass if I need to. They're fair warning. Here we go. Grab your coffee, grab your cannabis, grab your cigarette, whatever you need, your tissue box. Let's buckle up, Buttercup, and settle on in. Because, lad, we may have come from a place of hurt recently. That deep hurt from our past has kind of resurfaced once again. I want to tell you about the worst possible day I've ever had in my life, and I mean the worst. Because when I was an 8-year-old boy, I was being abused by a babysitter for about a year and a half. Now, I went to school one day. They had the special class that told you to go tell someone when that was being done to you. I knew it was always wrong, but up until that point, I thought it was just a game I was playing with all the other kids. Of course, I thought something was wrong and icky with it the whole time, but I didn't know that. The moment I knew it, it hit the deck in my brain. And I suddenly went to, oh my dear God, now I'm allowed to feel all these feelings that I wasn't letting out before because I held my emotions in. A little boy who doesn't know what's going on is going to do that. And I went out to this cornfield where I start to tear through about a row through of corn up to about a half a mile, maybe not even, up to a hill where there's a willow tree in the distance. That's this willow tree you see in the distance. And on my way through all of that pain and hurt, running through that willow tree, through that cornfield, I hear a song playing through the reeds. I call it my song, my cornfield melody, for a reason, because it was the song I followed up to that willow tree, up where I heard that song leading me to. The hurt boy was tired and got all of that energy under him. So, of course, he got tired, decided to sit underneath a willow tree because it looks like a good place to sit. Why not? You know, it's a nice warm day, full moon, everything is out there, all that stuff. And the song continues to keep playing. And as I fall asleep, and I have one of the most expressive, most influential dreams of my life. And the reason I'm telling you this now is because the dreams of your past, the thing you wanted to manifest someday from that little boy of you or that little person inside of you was, now is going to start to manifest in life. You're going to start to see that happening because, as I did, I made and saw my future self become who I am today. Without that dream, this is not happening. I am not doing everything I am doing right now. But the phrase I heard under this tree was what got me to this point. And this is the phrase I want you to hear today. No matter what's happening in your life, no matter what's going on, I want you to know it's okay. It's going to be okay. Because it's all being done to help lead you to that destiny. That you've carved your own destiny out. So you're carving your way to that destiny. That does not mean you will not make different choices and decisions along the way to get to that destiny, but you are on your way to it. So today is the day to say, I'm going to be okay. Things are going to work out the way they are meant to work out. because now is my time to take all of the ingredients I do want in my life and start to put them into my elixir of life mug. I want to make my soul be that which I truly want to have other people like, and I want to like too. Kind of like we're crafting beer. You know how beer works, right? You take the sugar, the sweetest parts of your life, and you say, I need that in there. You take the agitator, the yeast, and that has to fight against it. So, of course, those are all the troubles and tribulations you've been through. That's got to start the chemical process. Then, what's your flavor of what you are? What is the hops and barley of who you are? Then we add the spices of what life throws at us on a life balance of life, death, and rebirth, and everything we experience as a human into the mix. And then we've got to let it all kind of come together and fermentate until it becomes something worthy of drinking. So that takes time. And that's what you're doing right now is you're building that elixir of life, picking, picking the right ingredients, allowing it to break down to a point where those ingredients start to turn into something more better than they were before. The only thing you have left to do is strain the crap out of the elixir. That is what your future is telling you to do now. The donate box is all about it is time for you to finally get back that which you have given to others in return. So if you're wondering why all this abundance is happening to you, is because the universe has seen you fulfill a lot of these needs you've been having in your life. You're feeling more assured of yourself, more positive, more allowing yourself to live in your dreams, live in your goals, live in your all this stuff that you want to start to do. But the thing you start to donate back to yourself are these things you start to fill these holes up in. You're not trying to feed yourself with sugary sweets anymore that only last for a temporary fix. Now you're eating full meals, filling the holes up so that they never ever open up again. You're healing those holes instead of just temporarily letting them be fixed for the 5 hours you have the energy buzz of a treat. Okay? So now you get to go spend on what you want. So that means your energies are ready for you to finally donate back to self that which you want in life. You are ready to finally go get that which you truly want to have. Not just in a monetary sense, in a life purpose sense, in a belief in myself sense, in a I can make my journey be that whichever I want itself to be. All that is required for this to happen is to fulfill my destiny, and that's your destiny card here today on top, is the Seeing Eye card. And that means it is time for you to open up those big, pearly blue, beautiful eyes you have in this head of yours and use your mundane eyes to really look around at what you have today, Mr. Lad UK. And I want you to take a nice, long, hard look at what you actually have here today. And just consider how monstrosity lucky you really fucking are. Because the thing staring you in front of your face right now could be the best possible life, the best possible choice in the world. But until you accept it, it will never be that. You must open up that third eye and trust yourself with perfect love and perfect trust and perfect peace so that you can see the world for what it truly is. Opening up your eyes for those first times. Let me see what you just said. Okay, well then there you go. And that means that the whole picture, the whole thing is coming into focus. That's why this trouble and tribulation from the past will resolve. That father son stuff will resolve because as I had resolved my past with my father, I didn't have the greatest beginning with my dad either, okay? And let me tell you, we had to work on a lot of things for a while. But we eventually became the father and son we were meant to be, you know? But it took a while for us to get there. And we still work on it as a relationship status goes to this day as well. Because there's no more hurt involved, but there is, I want to love you as long as I can, you know? And that's what this is telling you as well, is open those eyes and really look at how lucky you have it right now. Because I'm willing to bet you, you do have it a lot better than you think you do. And you do have a two God card message for you as well. So it's a recent event. So you got to give it time to resolve. Time for him to heal. Time for you to heal. Be the open, receptive parent who's not being over judgmental about what they've done with their lives, and allow them to tell you their story and what they experienced, and give the best possible advice you can without trying to tell them how to run their lives as best as you can. I know that's not easy, folks. I'm not a parent, so please forgive me if I'm stepping on parentual no-nos here. I've never done parenting. So, but lad, maybe this is a secondary answer that you've been asking God for recently. It's a personal answer to you when you're asking your higher power, whatever you believe in there, for an answer to a very specific question. They've come to answer your question, but these do kick spiritual ass. These will turn your life around sometimes. So since you haven't been here before, I give this warning. This is the last time you will hear it from you. I will ask you if you want to see your God cards, and you either say, yes, I want to see them, or say, no, I do not want to after this point. So I will usually ask several times, in fact, but just kind of let you know, if you want to see them, you can. You don't have to see these. These aren't ones you have to know. So if you're not ready for this stuff, you'd rather have your personal deity and you have your own conversations, you don't need me. You can either ask a question right now, or you've had this question already in your mind. Usually it's a question that you've had recently that's been coming up in your question. You're asking your higher power for an answer to a question. That's usually what this is, an answer to that question. So it's either what you are asking right now in this very moment, or it's something you've already had. Okay, then. Here is your answer. What do you need to do with this situation? It is time for you to finally temper your soul into the shape you want yourself to be. You know why you're going through everything you're going through right now, lad from the UK? It's because you had to put yourself into the fire long enough for that soul to get red hot and pliable enough to work on. That means working on a physical self, a mental self, a spiritual self, creating who I want myself to become, and having that idea form in my head. Do I want to create a sword that protects me from those things that could cause me harm? Do I need a shield that protects me from those things? Do I need a cup where I have to learn how to empty it and fill it on a daily basis? Or do I need that fan to control the ebbs and flows of the fire that's right in front of me? I can create every last one of those tools, but if I don't know how to use them effectively and don't know how to use those tools in my life, how can I become that which I truly want to become? Now, you can put your own toolbox there and whatever you want to become in the places of what I've just said, but you get the general idea. It's time to go out and take that heat, because you know what a person who works on metal has to do? They take that metal out and they have to put it on the cold anvil, and they have to sit there with the hammer and pound it into a shape until that metal becomes a certain shape, and they get back in there and doing there. What do you do with hot metal once you're done with it? You will allow this emotional rain to finally be released. It's time to allow yourself this ability to rain down onto this world those emotions you are ready to let out. You are the sky in this picture. You are not the rain that happens to it. The rain is what you allow to happen in your life. So if you need to be a light, happy rain that lets everyone know how much you love them and accept them and blah, 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 great. But there will be times you'll need to be the gale force, get out of my way, I don't want you in my life kind of rain as well. We have to allow that rain to happen when it is. It is the water that cools the metal down so that it can become that strength together as one. So today, realize that you are tempering your soul into the shape you want it to be by releasing the emotions you need to release the way you need to release them to cool that soul so that you can be ready to be the answer that you are seeking this day. That is your God card message. I don't get involved with the middle of the rest of it. You have to figure out the rest on your own. That is your reading for today. That lad from the UK, first time chatter, first time visitor to the channel, first reading ever. I hope you had a great and fabulous day. Remember, no matter what I've told you here today, you have the right and responsibility to go live the life you want to live. So go live your best day ever, starting today by simply saying that today will be my best day ever. And that's what I have to tell you for today, lad. Oh, and are you looking for something that you used to have from a brother or a sister that you've been hoping to find again recently? It feels like a stuffed animal or something small, plushy, something small and plushy. It's not your normal teddy bear or something, though. It's a weird creature of sorts. Is there something that makes sense to you right now? Well, have you been missing a certain plushy toy recently? I'm an old uh, child myself, so anyway. But there was something small, plushy that you've been trying to find. Something. I don't know what it is, but it may or may not be something that you've been trying to find recently. And all I want to tell you about this thing that you've been trying to find is it's in like a back closet where you usually kept you used to keep things like collectible items in, and you forgot you hid something somewhere nearby. It wasn't necessarily a normal spot to hide something. I don't know if there's a childhood memory that this reminds you of or something like that, but I'm seeing you put something in a like a behind a vent or in a special secret spot. I'm not seeing what the secret spot is, but and all I'm seeing is it has something to do with someone you know, and all I'm seeing is an important thing that was kind of like I said, a weird frog-like creature. Now what? Let me see what you said here. I'm an only child. My childhood bred friend recently fell out. Our last memory is winning a plushie from a grab machine. Okay, so someone's telling you you're gonna get it back. You might get the friendship back if that's something you want. Or that friend's gonna need your friendship and gonna count on the old friend you used to be to help them. Well, will you help them? I'm not sure, but something like that's what I'm feeling for you. It's just something from the past returning that's plushy. It feels positive. So something for you want to know. And welcome in, Katana. That's what your that's what your guides are trying to tell me to tell you. So that's all I have for you today. Whether you believe me or not, any of that stuff, that's up to you to decide. I'm gonna have a nice little 11:03 hit on the brass monkey. Katana, thank you very much for stopping by today. I do appreciate the coming back and paying it back in return. I didn't expect it. I will never expect you guys to do anything for me. I don't expect what I give in return. I always give more than I will ever get back in return, but I know someday the universe will pay me back in return for even the smallest amount of what I've done for others. And I've been a little bit more giving lately, not only because of some guilt that I've had on my own self-conscious, but also because I genuinely like these people and want to support them. So all of that has been for those reasons only. And I'm trying to leave the other person alone and let them be and just be a supportive person. Now I want my last and final dream to happen. So you want to support me, want to show me love, go support that deck. That's the only thing I care about right now. I have the money to do it. I just want I want to prove that people want that from me. It's my advertisement. It's my way of getting my message out there and showing you in the best way I know how to do it way, and still recoup a little bit of my own funds doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, and if I don't get the goal, I don't get the goal. I still do it. I still go to the print. I just don't have to worry about Kickstarter fees. Okay. Oh, you know what?
This comes. And you want some of this?
Actually, this coffee is really. I've been trying to fix it, and it's like, nah. Trying to think, maybe I want my own cola that's in the fridge. And do you want this before I do anything else with it? Like,
Yes.
because I don't want any more.
Okay. already shorted a bit. So.
Okay, well, we're not going to go full tilt kitty, but there you go. You want more? It's there, but it's pot's off. So if you want warm, let me know. You're very welcome, lad. And like I said, the reason I did that for you that day is something said the universe was basically telling me you needed that back in return yesterday. That's why I did that. So I did that for you because I felt like something was saying you needed that yesterday. So my generous heart at the moment has the wherefore for doing it. You're welcomed.
Oh.
I have a small idea. I'm intuitional for a reason. I don't just do these things willy-nilly. People think I make snap judgments. I don't. It's like the universe says do something, I do it. Sometimes it's just my giving heart and my generous, kind personality. Sometimes it does it. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy, and I do it just because I feel guilty about what I've done wrong. And that was probably about the first two or three of them. After that, it was more about I wanted support, and there was one that I really wanted to make sure that they knew was not anything to do with that situation whatsoever. And I don't want to even say the name of the person because I respect them way too much, and I don't want to bring my shit into their life. I want them to go have a positive stream. I want them to go be partners someday. I want them to bring it up. I understand that I'm probably hit a TOS button here. So, I understand not even having the ability to go back there anytime soon. That's okay with me. I would rather them go live their life better, Okay, let me see what Sarah said. I mean, you were dead on about my nerd. I so appreciate you for connecting me with and letting me know. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. I mean, I'm just saying, there's a guy out there who looks at you like you are the queen of all queens, and they would love you more 10 times over than this guy jerk who you've been pining over for the last 20. Okay? There's always somebody out there who could love you more, and you just took 5 seconds to look around and actually see who's been looking at you a little too long sometimes. You might notice it. I'm glad it worked out for you, Sarah. I really am. I hope it continues to work on it. Continue to work on it. Both of you be that team. I know. I was like, is Lucy messing with you again, or?
No.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay, yay.
It was on top of the little black thing that you gave me.
Oh, dear God. Of course it is. So, and, I'm glad that my advice helps you guys. I really am. But I don't expect it to do that. I hope it does that. I hope what I'm feeling and sensing and what I have come through me is the truth. I don't know it is until you come back and tell me it is. Otherwise, I have to trust that it is exactly what you needed to hear, one way or the other. That's the only thing I can ever do here is hope that what I'm telling you is something you needed to hear. Then you go make the real life choices you need to go make. Sometimes that can be a good thing and a bad thing depending on how you look at it. I'm still waiting for the one person who comes in and goes, "You screwed my life up because I followed your advice." It's gonna happen. There's that law of averages too. If someone's going to take something I said too literally and do something that's going to endanger their loved one or someone, and that's going to be the end of what I can do. For them at least.
Cookies and
Oh. Is Michael on yet at all?
hold on.
Because if Michael's on, I might just get out of here for today. Unless we'll probably just turn this into a just chatting stream for a little bit anyway. I'm closing readings down, guys. We're going to a just chatting stream for the remainder of the time here for a little bit. So, just a little.
Games with Snakes is not on.
I wasn't sure he was going to be, but I thought I'd ask.
Cam on the Cob is on.
I know he's on. He's always on.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to have a just chatting stream. You and me, we can talk for a bit. How about that, Sarah? I have been doing it for approximately 20 years, maybe a little bit more than that. I've been doing palm readings for 25, tarot readings for 20. I started doing palm readings first. So I do a better job at palm reading than I do tarot reading, if you can believe that.
And he's scary good.
And my wife says I'm scary good. That's why she married me, because I told her about things I couldn't ever know. It was our second time ever knowing each other, and
that was our first.
Okay, that was our first time meeting and sitting and talking to each other, and I blew her out of the water so bad she was like, what just happened?
Yeah, basically.
So, that's what happened. And, it is what it is.
It's all good.
I like how it worked out. How about that? I'm not complaining too much. I mean, our love story. My whole life is an epic story. My life could be a TV movie, if not real life movie. I swear to you, it could be. No, it should be a TV to life movie. If it isn't, someday someone should go.
The Joshua Show.
Yeah, that's why I called it the Josh Show at one point, because it was the Joshua Show. It's all about me, you know. So, yeah, so we have a really cool story. But the cool thing is, depending on how you look at it in a mystical sense, she's the one who actually made me become manifest. She manifested me into reality, and then I manifested back into her reality. We both saved each other in respect, multiple different ways in a psychic way. Whereas she allowed me to be born, I saved her from death, blah, blah, blah. In a spiral of life, blah, 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 yakety smackities, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what you guys can do? You can do this for me, right? You can go do my Kickstarter campaign or something like that, you know? Yeah, I mean, there was a point where I didn't believe that was going to be so. I thought there was another girl out there that I thought I was meant to be with. Followed her around for 7 years before I realized she wasn't the one I was supposed to be with. I mean, and she was one who would ever love me back in return. That's why I fell in love with a woman like Beth, because she was the kind of woman who will love with her whole heart and love someone back in return. At the moment, she couldn't. The other friend I had, and I use that word lightly, at the time she was my best friend. She's no longer my friend or my best friend or even an acquaintance of mine. She goes lives her life. I go live my life because of my own stupid, male, dumb, idiot, 19-year-old or blah, 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 younger self. You know what I'm saying? Because we all make mistakes like that. You know, I truly hope I didn't hurt her too bad, but I think we equally hurt each other. That's why it would have never worked out to begin with, you know? So, whereas me and Beth, we still equally hurt each other, but in fun ways. No, you have no idea. Yeah, she has the collar and a big dildo to prove it, she says. And let me know, folks, she does. We are weird people. We're not that weird, but, I'm not into the beat me, hit me myself, okay? But she has a past, and it's way more extensive than me. So, let's just put it lightly. So, remember, I don't kink shame. I have a daddy-daughter fetish, okay? But I don't it's not something I, genuinely talk about a lot because it's not like a big deal. It's not like the end all. She's 13 years older than me. I shouldn't find her attractive. She's not ugly in my eyes, but the world would find her ugly. People would look at her and say fat, ugly, a bunch of nasty, mean words I don't want to say.
Even the C word I've been called a couple times.
Well, some of those times I bet you deserved it because you can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said sometimes we can all be the most extreme versions of our bad, icky self. So we've both done things in our respective lives we're not proud of, but nothing so extreme that we hurt, too many people, at least in a purposeful way. More people hurt us than we hurt other people. This is just a cigarette, but I will make a green for us too.
Could you make me a cigarette as well? While you have it there and before you empty it?
Why don't you take that one and then I'll make myself a... Ha ha, you're funny, duck. Ha ha, nice emote you got there. It's got a guy.
Yes, I see it. I approve.
Yes, mistress.
Thank you, mistress.
May I have another mistress?
Of course.
God, can you stop now? It's just safe word, safe word, safe word. What is the safe word? Safe word.
It's safe word.
It's safe word, dummy. Fuck, forgot again. Ah, damn it. Okay, green when you give it a chance, honey.
Oh.
This is how much cannabis we have left after the massive amount of cannabis we had. That was a little bit smaller than this at the time. This was not the size of cannabis bag. It was probably half of that size at most.
Yeah.
We had filled of that. Of cannabis. This is all that's left now.
Yeah, but it's lasted like 10 days. For us, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how long things will last when you want to. Now, we're being a little bit more ginger with those things. Yeah. Trust me, it was a big investment because we wanted to not be in pain for a while. Guess what? Not in pain for a while.
Worth it.
Worth it. Best 3 weeks of my life. Oh, really? We
2
just...
ounce limit every 2 weeks? God damn.
Wow. What did we just buy?
1,000?
Yeah, 1,000. That was about what you said.
Oh, it was 3 ounces.
3 ounces? We bought 3 ounces for 1,000. So we only bought. You buy more than we do. And we don't buy that much. Yeah, it's medicinal. Yeah, exactly. And it costs that much because it's that medicinal.
Yeah, you
The
go
state
out-
has to take their little 2 cents, though, don't they? Yeah. We'll make it legal as long as we can charge you an arm or leg for it. Here's your greenie.
Thank you.
I'm out of wood tips. I don't know where I lost all of my wood tips now.
I last saw them in the triangle bowl.
Yeah, I know. I think I emptied them out into the trash, which I already emptied. So, booey on me.
Now, don't you feel stupid.
Come to Cal, we have it in gas stations. Exactly. Well, we just got legal marijuana here in the state of Minnesota, so we have legal recreational cannabis. So we can have it in any form once in a while. We're getting to the point, California, but we are just starting our journey onto that path. Yeah, I would can't wait to see the day I can walk down to my local store and get myself the same amount of green I get from my green man. I don't pay taxes for this shit, baby. Okay?
Ain't that the truth?
And if the tax man wants to come get me for that, take me to jail. 3 square meals every day, all the bad sex I don't want, and plenty of friends who will tell me constantly how good I can be. Yeah. A bad a job.
Really?
You'll never ever have to worry about whether or not you'll be taken care of. One way or the other, you'll stay there the remainder of your days. Either intuition of the mind, to intuition of the body, intuition of the soul. Become a nun, become a criminal, or become a, all of that stuff, Yeah, duck. Let's talk here for a little bit, okay? Why do we have a rubber duck's outfit, and why do we tell her to quack? Okay. Is that why we call ourselves Duck Explorer? Kinky. Ha 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 ha. Quack quack. Ah quack. Yeah, I have no idea. Well, I don't know what your kink is, and I don't want to know. Well, kind of, sort of.
Hey, if they're a furry, go on with their furry selves.
Let's do what I'm doing now, which is getting incredibly high.
Yes.
While I put my cards away for the day. And I say goodbye to you for the weekend, guys. And I'm going to start searching for some, remember, if you guys have a friend, if you guys have a community member who needs help, we support our community. Raids are included in that. If you guys have a suggestion, don't be afraid to suggest your friends. Don't be afraid to shout them out. Don't be afraid to lead us to communities where we can build better communities. We are on a journey together, guys. We are all in this together. All of humanity will get this big thing coming up soon. And when it happens for us all, I hope we can really accept it and accept it as a good thing. not a bad thing, which it won't be. But you never know. I can't say that the universe doesn't
Maybe
like to
for
laugh
some
at me.
people.
It may not be good for some people, but the majority of the populace, I'll tell you this one. If you're a bad, icky person who's in power, abusing that power, it's not going to go well for you. Sorry. Okay, that's the only warning I have for you. Ooh, she's not a furrier, she's a waxier.
Ouch. Ow, ow,
You
ow,
like
ow,
them
ow.
clean, you like them soft, you like them, baby. Okay. Anyway, guys, let me go do the old searchy for the person of the day here. And see who we have out there in the old Twitchy land that I want to go raid myself right now.
Good luck.
Well, shasha. Well, guidance is still on too. Guidance, the advisor. There's some people I can't go to, so I'm not going there. Should we go to a tarot reader? Let's see, who needs some love today? Hey, is that lad from UK still here? Maybe he can guide the raid a little if they're still here today. Oh, hey, let's go say hi to TC. That's a good idea. I like that idea. She's probably still lurking out there as well, so. I like that idea.
Hey, ask Sarah what strain she uses
What strain do you use, Sarah? My wife wants to know.
for her ADHD.
Oh, for your ADHD. Whatever you can get, yeah. That's whatever I can get is kind of the answer for me as well.
Yeah.
Lilac Diesel. Ooh, ours is Baba Kush,
Kush.
Baba Kush,
Bubba OG.
Baba OG, something like that was our favorite at the time. We're kind of getting to a higher tolerance level now, so it's you know, something like that, you know. But let's shout out my friend first and foremost. So we can give her the old shout out. So give my friend who's a new baby tarot reader herself. She does astrology and tarot reading.
Oh, yay.
So go check her out. Go get a reading. And we usually like the more indicas than the sativas ourselves. But genuinely, we will smoke whatever the goddamn well we can get our hands on. And that's not a bad raid message. So here we go. Here's what we can do. Now, you don't have to copy this whole thing. But you can copy part of that and let her know we're coming in from the Unknown Prophet. Throw her some emotes and throw her a bunch of hi, how are you doings and stuff like that. And let's go show our friend and our fellow star some much needed love today. Okay, guys? We're going to get the heck out of here. So I will see you tomorrow on Monday. See you Monday, not tomorrow. I'm not coming back
Have
to.
a good weekend.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you soon.